I see there are some numbers there, some numbers regarding rearrests. Do those, it appears that they're only counting rearrests based upon the defendant, like a defendant who has been rearrested, not the number of rearrests. Can you clarify that for me? I couldn't really tell from it.
Right, that's data that we get from DCJS, so like they only say yes or no for the rearrest. That's what we get back from them and provide on the website.
Got it. So it doesn't have any regard with respect to how many, just whether or not you've been rearrested?
Yeah, I think it might have the type on there as well, like whether
Okay.
it's a rearrest for a misdemeanor or a rearrest for a felony. And I think they added on firearms given the interest.
Okay, got it. As a separate category?
I think so. Yes.
Okay, thank you. Do you have any data with respect to the, I guess, the problem-solving courts, like drug courts, mental health? How have those numbers might have been changed, if at all, in the past 5 years or so? You know, since pre-pandemic, I guess, maybe 2017, 18, if you have them, if you don't mind.
I don't really know how to answer that.
Off the top of
We
your
have
head, that's tough, I know.
Some very nice dashboards, and we have a lot of data on problem-solving courts, but they're very complicated courts, and the data is complicated, and I don't know what the trend lines are, especially given how long people spend in those courts. It's not one of those, you know, where you can quickly measure impact. People are there for a good long time getting treatment.
Could you possibly comment, either of you, regarding generally caseloads, since, you know, because right before all of this, of course, Raise the Age became implemented, so family court caseloads have increased significantly, I've been told. So do you have any comments in that regard, how this legislation may have affected caseloads?
Caseloads in general or caseloads for a specific type of court?
However you'd like to characterize it, as specific or as general as you need to be. I'm curious as to kind of all of them. More so the criminal justice, of course.
It's hard to get to pinpoint based upon the numbers and the complications that we had with the pandemic and these intervening years. But the numbers are generally trending lower on filings. Am I correct in that, Carolyn? Yes. The filings are lower in the criminal justice in the criminal courts.
Do you have any data with respect to motions or, you know, dismissals? I was speaking with the previous panel, and I guess it's tripled since 2017 on misdemeanors and more than doubled on felonies in New York City alone, where I think we have the most significant data. That's quite accurate. That dismissals ACDs, not adjournments and contemplation of dismissal, which is bargained for, of course. This is just flat out dismissals for other reasons, and that doesn't include covered by another case. There's a separate category for that under DCJS. So I've got 4 cases pending. I take 1 case, I plead guilty, we dismiss the balance in satisfaction of that plea. Those are not in those numbers. So and New York City had 54% of them were being dismissed in 2021. So can you reconcile or discuss those numbers at all? If there's any sort of data from OCA's standpoint that those numbers are based upon actual motions, declinations to prosecute, or something else?
We do have data on dismissals. It's in our discovery reform dashboard, and it separates out by just dismissals without a reason attached and 30-30 dismissals, speedy trial.
Okay, just those 2 is what it differentiates between.
I think so, yes.
Differentiates between, okay.
Yeah, and then the pretrial release data has, if someone feels like really getting into the raw data, it has a column for the dismissal reason type, where it goes into detail if we were able to capture it, and that's information that's only getting better, I think.
Okay, great. Great, and of course, that's only for data that ultimately comes in, that is charged and ultimately comes into the court system, right? Since you're obviously the Office of Court Administration, right?
There's got to be a filing before we report on it.
Yeah, got it. Thanks so much.
You're
Thank you,
welcome.
Chairman. I yield
Thanks,
back.
Senator Palumbo.